topic is marriage journey. So we're gonna be talking about the marriage and the journey of marriage, the different things like that. So yeah, that's it. So George gonna read the discussion. What is overview, like the over topic of it.
Okay. Starting off is saying every marriage faces tough seasons, conflicts, emotional distance, financial pressures, health crises, or simply growing apart. This episode, we dive into reality behind the vows that happens after happily ever after and how couples find strength to keep going.
I'm trying to sit over here so y'all can see me on both ends.
So that's what we're going to talk
That's what
about
we're
today.
talking about today. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. So the first key topic we're gonna talk about is real talk. What does hard look like? Like example, what was one of the hardest seasons in our marriage? Hmm.
Hardest, I say the losses.
Yeah, we touched that. We touched on that last.
Um, comes up. What comes after that though is losses. As far as
We can see y'all. We can see y'all.
yeah, I
Hey
would say
y'all. My cousin said, "Hey, I'm sorry, y'all."
uh I would say losing apartments and cars and things like that. Those were things that for me it was things I had to grow into being able to manage.
Yeah.
Because I was not a good manager starting off. Coming out of my parents' house, I was one of
But
the
this was like before our marriage too, though.
true, but we still
We still kind of.
we still
Well,
had
yeah, we still had some
we had
struggles.
struggles because it wasn't always smooth sailing. We through life you're gonna have ups and downs anyway. So through all that, just I would say like I had different jobs. Sometimes I couldn't be able to provide the way I wanted to. So with that, I had to find ways to just make money and do it legally to where I can provide for my family, and at the same time with little children and things like that, I had to still work with my wife, try to make her happy, and all those different things. So I feel like that was tough. So we worked through things like that, and if you had a tough time, you can share it because we can
Yeah.
collaborate on that.
Well, yeah, like he said, that were and when we first got married, we were like around early in the middle of the 20s, like 25, 26. Like we said, we wasn't married yet when we lost our parents. So when we got married, it was just like we was trying to figure things out in life. So at that time, we had financial issues. We had that's really was crazy how the finance part, because nobody told us how to have a savings account, how to make sure you keep your bills paid. So I liked it to shop. So he used to bring home some money, but me, I'm not worried. Well, I'm not gonna say word. I'm not budgeting the right way. So I'm over here shopping, knowing the lights got to get paid, and he like, okay, you ain't paid a light bill, and I'm like, look, you're right. But you know what? We was young, so the light got cut off. He was upset. We had to get it back on. We had so many struggles. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We had repossessions a couple of times. We had lost apartments. All of those things. So it asks that goes into the second part. It says, were there moments you questioned continuing on? How did the struggle affect your communication, intimacy, and trust? So with that being said, that really didn't bother us with our trust part, because we was working as a team together. So we kind of figured it out. It wasn't like overnight, but we kind of figured out how to make different within our life when it comes to the money, the decisions, what to do with it, how to become successful when it comes to budgeting. Because me, I was the one that was spending. I'm still a spend. I'm still spending, but it's got a little bit of more better than what it was before. But
It's a fast.
I know how to run it up real quick. But I make sure we take care of the main things, and that's the bills. Because back then, he used to give me the money. I was a stay at home mom for probably about 3 years.
Couple years.
For 3 years with our baby boy. So I would be at home, and he would put the money in the account. And when it get in the account, I'm like, Let me go and get something right quick. Not really being understanding that this man going to work and he bringing home the money and you trying to go spend it without taking care of the bills. So that was something that I had to work on because he was like, I'm gonna stop putting money in. You're not gonna be getting the money in that account if you keep on spending and not taking care of the business with when it comes to our bills.
Right.
So that was one thing that we had. I'm trying to see if they have any questions, but we're gonna do the questions at the end anyway.
Right.
So
Did it ever question trust,
did it?
intimacy? For me on those, not so much trust because I always was able to trust her to end up taking care of business. It's just sometimes it wasn't when I wanted her to take care of the business, like so like it might be the next day that she'll take care of it versus the day I said, or we agreed on taking care of it. But trust was not a major issue for us. Intimacy, we still loved each other, right?
Yeah, so
I still,
I mean,
I
I was
still,
like,
I
I think
still
you love
love
me.
her. Yeah, I love
Okay,
her.
okay.
So through it all, if we were feeling broke, feeling busted, or disgusted, we still, had time to
Yeah,
hug and kiss.
yeah, we had time to go through the
And,
struggle together. That's what make it good because we was
mm-hmm.
working together through the struggle. Because it was a Christmas that we didn't have nothing to put under the tree,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids was looking like because when it used to be Christmas back then, we used to have presents on top of presents. But it was one Christmas that we was looking at each other like, ooh wee.
Mm-hmm. Well, they
Christmas
was
will
looking.
be.
They were looking for. They was asking us what they got.
And so our kids was understanding because they kind of knew the struggle that we was going through at that time because we was staying where we was at around that time. We was in a an apartment. Yeah, we was in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Apartment at that
Early
time
stages.
that our probably like a second, third year of marriage, going into
Mm-hmm.
third year of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, it hurted us as parents to not be able to do the things that we normally would do for our children. So we had to bite that bullet, but our kids understood because they already was getting stuff throughout the year anyway. So it's not like that they didn't have anything. It's just was us making it hard on ourselves. Like, we can't load the tree up this year. So I was we had to learn. We had to understand it is not our fault. It was something that we couldn't take control of. So that kind of helped us out with that part.
God made a way.
Yeah, and God made a way too.
That's how that worked out.
So then the next thing is what's your triggers and pressure points? Okay. What do you think were the root causes of the hard season, external stress, unsolved issues, and personal growth? How did you unspoken expectations play a role in conflict? Ooh,
Hmm.
I'm gonna let
Do
you
you
talk
know
now.
what trigger you?
George.
Do you? I know what trigger.
No, 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 I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay.
Let
But
it
for
let you
me,
go first.
are they asking me what triggers
Yeah,
me?
what trigger the like some triggers that within the marriage or on the journey?
And
What were some trigger points that I did to you or whatever?
I don't know. I feel like I
Don't be
guess
acting like it's probably got a list.
I don't know. I think when we don't agree to things, it'll become a big disagreement. And I get triggered when I kind of like my way, and she does like she likes her way as well. But at the same time, we like good things, together. But I still might view things the way I view it, and she still view things the way she view it. But at the same time, what triggers us is probably just um disagreements. And with a disagreement, that's just we kind of on the same page, but not just right at the same at the same spot. So triggers like can happen, but they can make you either go up if you not thinking straight, or if you thinking straight, you can just calm down and just woosah and just try to calm that down, or just try to find a way to even the the road for yourself.
Okay.
So yeah.
So with me, with my trigger points
Yeah.
was his tone,
Mm.
and it's kind of still a little bit to this day when he talking is the way he come at me. Like he be saying he not yelling, but it's like the tone. Like I'll be like, babe, can you get? I look, hold up. Like, wait a minute, who you? Wait, bring that down. And that kind of be triggering me, and he know it. Like, and if he be like nonchalant about it and be like, you like I'm being soft, it kind of make me get crazy too. Cause then we both in that sense of like I told you before, I don't like when you raise your voice. Even though you're saying you're not raising your voice, it's the tone that come out. And then it make me feel like I gotta defend myself because I'm like, who you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he be like, I'm not yelling, but why you talking in that tone? Because that's yelling to me. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that triggered me then, and it's kind of he better now, but he kind of worked. Well, I'm gonna say he way better now.
Yeah. I think
With
I'm
that,
way better.
yeah. So going into that, we're gonna talk about the time when you had to stand on faith, love, and just survival in itself. What
Mm.
kept you holding on during the roughest times? Did your spiritual beliefs, community, and counseling play any role in your parts? Where there were moments breakthrough or just slow rebuilding within our marriage journey? Is for now.
What kept us going through the rough times? I say our children. And really, the most part, just us wanting to do things together, have things for ourselves. Uh, I feel like if you a person with some ambition, that then you know how to get up and just make something or go get something. And we always had some ambition about us. So we never was even, I feel like if we were not together, we still were gonna be working and doing something or striving to be um doing something for ourselves. So but for our marriage, I mean, you know, as starting off as friends to where we are now, I feel like we just know how to make things keep going. Like we not gonna let nothing stop us. I know if other people might see us on the outside, they might think if we got a little slight argument, they might think this might be bad. But
Yeah.
for us, we know it's
Yeah.
nothing because we
Yeah.
know how to get through
Because we,
things
we
like that.
like that we got years, but then like I would say the growth in the years of the season of the marriage. Because going into our marriage, I would say what it was like a year, it's going into years
Hmm.
when you did your foolishness. Or
Yeah,
you want to hit that topic?
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm an
So
open book.
we being real on here. We talking real. I'm letting y'all know the ins and out of our marriage journey. Um, this was a time when we first got married around. I think we were going on year two,
Hmm.
and it was one of his ex-girlfriends was in his inbox, y'all ladies, and y'all know what I'm talking about with the
Hmm.
inbox stuff. So she inboxed him happy birthday and such or whatever she was doing at that time. And I'm not the type of wife to be insecure or none of that because I know what I have and who I am. So I don't go through phones. I wasn't going through phones or anything like that.
Hmm.
But God brought it to me because he was on my phone. He had logged into his social media on my phone. So I'm thinking I'm going on in my account, like I'm on my stuff. So I'm going in my, my message and I see I have notifications. So I'm like, okay, who talking to me? Like, what's going on? I'm checking my notifications, not knowing it was his notifications. And I seen a little chitty chat going on between him and his ex. So I'm like, what the you what? And I'm like, hold on, you got me because I already told him I don't want to have no disrespect when it comes to our marriage. It's the trust, and that cheating is one of the things. And even though he was verbally texting, like it was verbal through text,
Hmm.
it was still disrespectful to me because I'm like, you should even be engaging with her with these text messages because you talking about old stuff that y'all had, and all of this stuff. And you married, you over here with me. So me at that moment, when I read it, fire just got inside of me. And he was asleep, not knowing what the heck was going on. And I woke him up with some punches. I surely did. I wasn't supposed to put my hands on him, but I was mad because I'm like, you asked me to get married. I didn't want to come into no marriage with no dishonest and have to be one of them wives to be like, okay, is my husband cheating on me? What's going on? Because I just want to walk around like how you got to walk around, and so that really made me mad. So yeah, I woke him up with some punches. Yeah, and he got up like, what's going on? What's wrong? And I'm like, look this. So he looked at it, and what you said, babe?
I don't know. I don't even remember all
you,
that.
you,
But
you know, he looked
but
like,
I
what is
said
this?
I
What is
was
this?
in a good
Because he
sleep
was
probably.
halfway asleep.
I
And
was
he was like,
always
what is
asleep.
this? So he couldn't deny it because it was in black and white.
Yeah.
So I was to the point I was feeling to say, you know what, I did say, you know what, if that's what you want to do, we can end it now. We
Mm.
ain't even too much in this marriage. We what, two going on 2 years. we can go ahead and leave because I'm not about to play with no cheater, none of that. So he was just like, like how men's be. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to do that. Like give me another chance. And I'm in my mind, because women, like I said the last time, stand on your respect, because that's what was in my mind. Like my respect was broken. Like I told him before we got married how I feel about disrespect when it comes to somebody trying to play you outside of your like with somebody else. So I wasn't trying to put up with that. So I told him, look, if God put it on my heart, whatever God put on my heart, that's what I'm gonna do. If He put it on my heart to move, I'm moving. If He put it on my heart to stay, then I'm gonna stay. But if I do stay, it ain't gonna be no easy walk in the park. We ain't supposed to be like holding hands again right now. It's gonna take me a minute to understand, like, why did you do what you did? And then what the crazy part is, the girl, I knew the girl from school. She knew me, and he from her, like him. So I was, if it was a person that I didn't know, then I wouldn't have said nothing. So yeah, I slid in her DM and went off on her like, "Hey, you must don't know who you messing with. I'm that girl. Like you not about to be disrespect." Yeah, I shot her one of them good old messages, and she messaged back. Why she do that? I was ready to fight. I said, yeah, we can meet up right now because I'm ready. I'm about that life right now because you didn't disrespected me. You know this my husband, and you trying to bring in some bull crap, and I'm not having it. So Joe's like, you ain't got to meet up with that girl and chill out. You ain't got to do all that. He know his wife is one of them girls. So I was ready to go there. But I told him, look, I said, how you gonna put me in a marriage and have me over here getting into it with a female behind our marriage? Like that's disrespect. I said, put yourself in my shoes. If one of my exes, I'm in here engaging and texting and talking crazy, you would be like, what the heck? You ain't supposed to be like, oh, just don't worry about it. So he had to understand, and that broke him. That made, he was so hurt from that because, and I told him he changed the way I looked at him from that because I looked at George at that time like a good man. I know a lot of y'all probably looked at him and y'all didn't know about this about him. That's why we caused this. That's why we brung this out because I want y'all to know the ins and out of our marriage. Y'all didn't probably know that about this man because y'all look at him like, oh, George is he was a good old man. But at that point, he is a good man now, but he wasn't a good man to do that. And he learned from that. And I told him, if you ever do that again, I don't care what's going on, I'm out. I'm not trying to play no games about no disrespect with no cheating and none of that. And I'm thankful that he learned his lesson. It took about a month for me to get back in tune with him. And I was like, you gotta allow me, however long I need to heal from this, you gotta let me do what I gotta do at this point because you did this. And if I can't build my trust back up, then I'm definitely not gonna be in this marriage because one of the key points of marriage is trust. And if that ain't there, then it's not gonna work. But that was a triggering all of the conflict, really bad in our marriage from that. And I'm thankful that we growed away from that, and we better now. We ain't had no cheating stuff, huh?
I haven't.
Oh, okay. I'm just let me go to that phone. So, but yeah, but okay. Now we're going into this. What we learned the hard way. That was, that's something you can go and do.
You just
Was that you
put me
learned?
like you want
You
to.
learned.
No, you started.
Right?
Start that one. I'm gonna do the one. I'm gonna do it after you start. After you start.
Okay.
Say what mistakes did you make
Trying
trying to fix it, and what
because
was you
one
trying?
thing I want to know because
What would you tell couples who currently are struggling with
yeah, I would
situation?
tell women that I'm gonna talk to y'all. If y'all struggling with y'all husbands being out of y'all marriage, like cheating or but basically cheating, because that's the main trigger for marriages. Cheating is disrespect all the way. Don't allow here that man to keep coming to you and saying, I apologize, I'm not gonna do it again, and it's the third, fourth time. Get rid of that dude. Don't, because at the end of the day, he don't value you enough because and I'm gonna go to the biblical part because under God is the marriage and your wife. So if you don't look at me like that and you disrespecting me, you disrespecting God. So at the end of the day, I can't be with no man like that. So I'm gonna be like, you know what? I love you to the heart, but you disrespecting me, and we gotta do this because you can't walk on around on eggshells trying to figure out if this man gonna cheat again. That's not a healthy life. Who want to live like that? I know I don't, but it's some women who can do that. Some women been living like that, and if that's what you pick, choose to live like that's what you're gonna do. But as far as me, it's a no go for me.
Yeah. Uh, and in a marriage, I feel like that's both ways because men are always like the ones that usually get into those types of trouble, temptational problems and situations. Because I'm not gonna just lie and say we don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's we know that that's not true. But I would say that like being honest with your spouse is very important because I mean like you might not tell her everything or things like that, or you some things you might just hide. Some things we just gonna hold till we gone. But I feel like when you being 100 or just all the way completely honest with the one that you with, I feel like it helps you. It might not feel like it helps, but it helps when you trying to do it or when you are doing it right. So like cheating and things like that and stuff, adultery, all those types of things, we know for sure that we don't want to hurt each other because she always would say if I did you like that, how you gonna feel? And that's the thing that always hurt every man. If they tough or not, nobody want to get done wrong. So I feel like treating each other the right way, especially if you got a union, it's just like your body. If you love your body, you gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
And if you love your marriage, you're supposed to take care of it as well. So I learned my lessons, and I'm good. I know God blessing me, and I know I see Him doing what He doing for me. So I ain't gonna stop my blessings.
Yeah, and to say that going through that, I knew that I had to forgive him because it sounds that I just was like, should I go through his phone again? Knowing that I didn't go through the first time, but in my mind, in the back as a woman, I'm like, is he doing something again? Like I didn't want to keep feeling like that, so I had told him like, we got to take this to church. We got to go ahead and pray, get this feeling out of me because I used to get so hurt from it because I looked at him at that time like the man of my dreams, like this man wouldn't do me like that. And I used to find myself crying sometimes. And I'm not that type of girl to cry. Everybody that know me, if I'm crying, it's a serious situation. So that hurt him when he seen how hurt I was when I used to cry. And he'd be like, babe, I told you I'm sorry. Like, and I said, I understand that, but it's just the thought that keep coming in my head, like, am I gonna get through this? Am I gonna be able to forgive this man that I love so much? Am I going to be able to see him back how I saw him before? That was in my mind because I'm like, if I don't get that, I can't be faking and be like, I love him and this my dreaming, my knight in shining armor, knowing in my head is like, maybe he doing. So God was in there with us because He helped me to be able to say, Nikki, you can get back to loving him how you was. He learned his lesson. Forgive him, let it be what it's gonna be. But if he do it again, then you have all right to be like, this is it. Because I know some women, it might take 5 times for them to say this it. But that was something that I stood on going from the start. That was even when we was boyfriend and girlfriend. I said, you ain't been cheat on me. Because I don't play with it because I give my whole heart when I'm in love with somebody. And I ain't been in love with too many men. But probably this George is the second, to be honest, the second my real person that I loved. I had a childhood crush, love that, but my real man, because he made it worse after we broke up back then for that year or whatever when we were young. He made it bad for any other dude coming behind him because I was telling every dude I don't want a relationship. I don't want to be a girlfriend. I just want to chill. I just want to hang out. And they like, what's wrong with you? You acting like a dude. I said, because I don't want that. And I don't know if we told y'all before the other thing, but George broke up with me in high school when after I graduated from high school. And he told me he felt by me graduated that he needed to let me explore because I'm graduating. He in high school still because he was a year under me and I graduated 12 and he was in 11th. So that was his thing. But to come to find out, he had got a girlfriend and all that good stuff. But right in the midst of that, I would say that helped our marriage because I was able to get out there and experience other guys and he was able to experience other women or whatever he was doing. But we still had that respect because we stayed in contact with each other.
You know what we were doing? We was being teenagers.
Yeah, we were young. We was like, what, 20, 19, 20, 19, like 18, 19. Yeah. So I was happy to be out there after that, after he set me free. He set me free. I was in them streets, you hear me? I was like, look, if it ain't about the money, don't come to. No, I'm just playing, y'all. But I didn't never get into another relationship. I never did. And I used to say, I now when I thought about it, I used to say that was nobody but God holding that spot for this man right here. Because if I had a got into another relationship and they would have been better, which I don't think they would have been better than him, we might not been seeing us today together. But it was nobody but God. And then when we went to my mom's funeral, the pastor confirmed that when we weren't even married, like I told y'all, he confirmed that that's your husband.
And
Y'all don't be married.
He set us down.
And I was like, huh? Like you know all the things that, but if that's what that pastor said, and
he was
he
able
said
to see that in
he
us.
saw it, yeah.
He was able
And
to
so
see
we
it.
here today with y'all or whatever, and it's still going strong through all of the craziness throughout our marriage journey. Yeah. So next, we about to get ready to get our guests on. We about to bring them on, but first, before we bring them on, we want to introduce them. So we're gonna let it be known that these are it's crazy. I don't want to get a details. I'm gonna let them talk. But one of them is my bestie for years, plus 20 plus years.
Right.
And one of them is my crazy. This crazy highlight. But I'm not one of my schoolmates from middle school. You see how life happens? Like how this happen? But I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna do the detail. I'm gonna let them talk. So we're gonna bring in the Barnetts. Tamika and Daniel Barnett. Come on in, y'all.
Daniel.
Come on in. Y'all, welcome my friends in, y'all. We about to get started on them. Hey, that my friend. That's me.
Y'all tell them Barnett. Hey,
The Barnetts. They joining the party, y'all. It's about to get real. We got some people with us. Y'all give us some hearts if y'all loving what's going on.
You gotta be.
You
like
got it
this.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah. We getting them in. Y'all see them in? Yeah, we on here. Oh yeah, look at yeah, we in, y'all. I'm loving this. Okay, look at them. They got their shirts coming up. What the shirt say? Friend, let y'all do it. Do it, y'all.
As he who finds a wife finds himself a good thing, and mine
For sure.
is Mrs. Good Thing.
Oh, okay. That's what he found. Look what he found, man. Look at God, huh?
Yeah.
Man, look at
Look at
God.
Look at God.
That's good, man. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
So we wanted to have them as our first guest because
Right.
these are our old people right here. These are the people that
Mhm.
I wouldn't say if you see us, you probably gonna see them if we somewhere where it's, husband and wife at because you gotta have the people that you roll with, and it's a good thing that God, because you just my girl and I was like, hold on, what's going on? But when she became a wife, it's all good. It's all love. I'm trying to avoid giving her details, so that's why I'm going in circles with it. But I'm gonna let them talk since they didn't got in here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and go into
And then yeah.
how they met because
Y'all can
their
share how
topic
they
is
met.
how they met.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let them introduce and then let them go.
Yeah.
Hello world. My name Daniel. This is my wife Tamika, and we the Barnetts.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Y'all come
Yeah.
on in, give us some hearts and thumbs up if
Yeah.
y'all like what we got going on.
Yeah. You see how we all they coordinating.
All the
We got our
time.
coordination.
This is how we still by
It's how the marriage is.
Hey,
Nice.
you video.
Y'all
Here.
like
Yes.
that.
gotta be one.
Yeah.
Okay.
One body, one flesh.
So we wanted to ask, they want to know how y'all met. Yeah, how did y'all this going into my thing. How did y'all meet?
How did we meet?
Mhm.
First, take it.
We know each other from high school. We actually graduated together. Never talked to each other in high school or anything. He knew of me, I knew of him, but never had no type of communication. He said he had a crush.
Which
Yeah.
was confirmed by a couple people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by people, it was confirmed. But how we met, 2024, I would say January. I will post things on Instagram and Facebook, like spiritual wise and everything. And I think it was a scripture or something that I put up there.
Oh,
And
Proverbs.
right.
Proverbs.
And he put like a fire sign that went to it. And I just wanted to touch somebody. If it wasn't most people, at least one person was important or whatnot. But he every time I would post something, he would put like hearts or fire signs, and I'm like, every time I post something, this dude always like, what's going on? What does this mean?
Yeah,
So, I think one day I post something and he responded to it, like he sent a message or whatever, and we just started like talking like back and forth every now and then you want to tell?
Yeah, basically, I started out that Proverbs. I was having to go on the gram. At that time, I went on Instagram a whole lot, but I was having to pop up on the Instagram, and then I saw that message you had sent for us coming from Proverbs, which I needed it at the time what I was going through, and then next thing you know, after that, it just a simple conversation that was inside of a DM. Basically, it was about church. Um,
Strictly,
God's word, strictly church.
it
And
was
that was it.
always about church stuff. And
Church stuff.
to mention, I was already going through some stuff myself.
Mhm.
And I think like around March or something, I just went silent. I just went ghost. And my best friend, she be knowing when stuff is wrong. So she ended up texting. She was like, "Friend, you good over there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good, but I'm fasting." And when she heard me say that, she was like, "Oh no, let me go ahead and give her a call right now because I know something not right." But when she called me, I was fasting and I had already fast like prior that the end of what was that 23. And then this time I was just like, because I had lost total faith like in men and everything, trust. I didn't want to be bothered. I didn't like nowhere in the eyesight of a man. So I just said I'm gonna fast. Because I heard something with Fantasia when she had met her husband or whatever, and she said that she had fast. So I was like, I think I want to do that. I think I want to fast, but I want to, I want to try Jesus. Like, I really want to dig deep into the spiritual side and see what's on the other side for me. And I had fast, maybe I was 3 weeks into fasting. And then that's when he had messaged me and he started talking, like we would talk about Bible stuff or scriptures and stuff, not knowing that he was going through something. And then I had told her like when I was getting ready to be finished with the fast, and I was like, this guy that went to high school with us, he keep like he been messaging me. Yeah. And she was like, oh, who you about doing all of that? So I told her, and she was like, me and her, we be on the phone, we could be on the phone, we be investigating, looking at stuff. And she said, when I said Daniel Burnett, she was like, Daniel Burnett, that I went to, she said, hold up, I worked with him. So she went to his, oh no, me, you're not gonna talk to him.
For sure.
That man is married.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, Meek, that man is married. Not one time did I go to his Facebook page.
During that time, I was going through a divorce and everything, and like I say, I wasn't on social media like that a whole lot because I was going through that, and that was a new season in my life, transitioning wise. So nobody knew him, and then finally, he ain't married, you know. So yeah, so tapping into that new season. And so it was just so amazing how God would put things together because during that time, I was transitioning into a new phase in my life, and I was having to see that scripture that she put that really hit home, and so the rest is history. And coming to find out full circle, not knowing that y'all best friends, then we
worked together.
worked together.
And then when she told me, because like I said, I knew him in middle school.
And G knew when I was going through my divorce at that time. He
We
knew.
always talk.
Yeah,
And he didn't tell me. So I'm looking out for my friend. Like, you about to talk to this man? This man married.
Shut it down.
She was like,
Quickly.
what? So I guess she went.
I ended up, I asked him, and he was like, no. He said, I'm actually going through a divorce. We've been separated for like over a year and something. He was like, but it's not finalized. I don't think until what was that, May?
Right? And as soon as it got finalized, I had the papers in my hand and show them. Bam! They was right then and there.
Got it done.
He showed proof.
He got it done.
Show proof. You know, it's a lot of people out there that say one thing but they don't do it. You know, but I was walking in action though as well. So, and the rest is history. You know,
And they Okay, I'm about to
We got
get some
questions.
questions a
Yeah.
little bit for y'all so y'all can
Mhm.
kind of get to know them a little bit more.
Mhm.
It says, we kind of got it out a little bit. Who made the first move?
I
Actually,
did.
she did. She did. She did.
Because he kept like
did.
repeating himself
She did.
over and over, and I'm like, dude, what is you talking about? And
I
then
get
had
very
said,
shy. I get very shy, and at that time, but
very.
she had gravitate what I was trying to, comprehend, but she pretty much pulled it out of me. And then what's so funny, our very, very first date was going to church. So we basically brought God into our relationship.
That's good.
Our very first date was going to church.
Mhm.
So
And it has this number 7.
All right. So did your friends or family play any type of role in bringing y'all together or helping y'all get together?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
yeah.
Okay.
My sister and my aunt, like anytime I would conversate with somebody, I would go and talk to my aunt and be like, what you think about this guy? Like
Mhm.
he did this or he did that. What you think? Do you
Mhm.
think that's normal and stuff? But
Mhm.
when I was telling her about Daniel, I was like, he's in church, like he really knows God, like he prays, like even when I wasn't asking for anything, like if he would be like, can I stop by your house before I go home or whatever? And I say, yeah, I wouldn't let him in my house. I would go outside and talk to him and stuff. And one day he was like, we were standing out there talking, and he was looking at me, and he was like, put your hands up. And I'm like, what? Put your hands up. But he was like, put your hands up like this. So I put my hands up, and I just see him like touching my
Right.
face, my ears. Like I ain't never seen nobody like pray the way he did, and he included my children. And I have girls, and that's something that I be like very, very like protective of me and meeting my daughters. But he was praying over them, and I'm like, it's like the chills, like a spirit came over me or something. And I was just like, it just felt different, because I would always ask married couples, like, how did you know that this person was for you? And they would always say, you will know. It's a feeling. You will know when you will know. And I'm like, man, what is that? Like, how?
I'm like, see, I can't tell you all the way. You gotta get the feeling.
To take from that.
That's-
How am I actually pushing my husband away, or what?
Yeah.
Like, what feeling do I supposed to be looking for?
Mhm.
But it's a feeling that's undescribable, and it's like every time I would talk to him, it would be strictly about the Bible, like nothing else. It wasn't like no intimate. We didn't touch like bases with sex or nothing. It was just really like God, and I was just like, this is different than anything that I have ever like conversated with, and it made me so scared. I was like, Lord, like I know I have been fasting and praying, but
Hey,
my God, today.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he
She right.
definitely, God is real. I advise everybody like
During the time,
try.
Try with God.
Like
Yeah.
try Jesus.
Start your relationship
Yeah.
with God.
during the time
Yeah.
we were talking, we touched
Like
on
building one.
we touched on everything, but one
Mhm.
thing we didn't touch on was sex, and that was just by naturally. I mean, I didn't plan it, she didn't plan it. It was just everything was just based on our lives and everything. And then once we got more closer and tap into that, then that came along. But other than that, it was just basically about God and life and things like that. So yeah.
Okay. Well, she got more. We
Yeah, I
more
got a
questions.
question because y'all kind of answered some of them in that sense. So I'm trying to skip to
Yeah.
something that we didn't get to. In the midst of George, can you do it?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
We gonna talk. I'm gonna just ask. So a question would be, because about the marriage, like how long y'all dated before y'all got married, and what made y'all want to get married. We can go into that while George
Okay.
finding it.
Go
You
ahead.
want to ask me?
Like I said, like talking just on a spiritual level, I felt that it was right. It was the connection just felt right. Him opening up doors, like saying, I don't touch that door. Or like my daughters, he would go around and open up the car doors for everybody. And my kids don't gravitate to people. So they was like, is this normal? Like this man opening up doors for us, and then he would always pray with them. Like we would have open conversations with both of them, and my oldest would always be like I like him. Keep him around. Yeah, like I really like him. Like he's a good man for you. I feel like that's a good fit for you, and he balanced you out. So,
Vice versa. I mean, I have two kids. My daughter, she's 17. My son, he 15, and she brought them in as well, and she treat them the same way. So it all just came together, and you could tell it was God because you felt the love and everything just moved so smooth. It wasn't no like anything pushed together or nothing like that. It was just so smooth. To answer the question, I think we dated like about 4 months before we got married, but we already had knew that I knew that she was the one just by me praying and fasting and seeking. I believe if we want certain answers, it's so important to fast and seek God first, and to have that clarity, and He'll give you that clarity, that answer that you need. And she did the same thing, and here we are. The Barnetts.
You heard him say they was dating for 4 months, and this man knew this was his wife. Come on, bro. How did you? Because some men take forever, like
Yeah.
to come to that point.
Mhm.
Like, what made you know? Like, cause she said what made her know that you would be the one.
Mhm.
What made you know that this was the one that even though and y'all heard him say he was coming out of divorce, and some people would say they need more time.
Mhm.
What made you feel like this was the one?
To answer your question, what really, really, really made me know that she was the one is how that she conduct herself, how hard that she made it, and her love for God that really turned me on even more, because I love God,
Yeah,
and the way that she would put God before anything, and she didn't play no games with that. She was like, "Look, I'm not talking to be talking. I'm talking to marry. If this ain't what you want to do, don't waste my time because I have girls,
yeah.
and I got to be that example, and I got to be careful what I bring. And I was the same way for as me.
Mhm.
And I just knew in my heart, after I pray and I see God on that, and I just knew in my heart she's the one, because not only that, she brings the best out of me.
Mhm.
And when you with somebody that brings the best out of you, that pushes you even more to
Yeah.
become better, that's
That's
it.
when you know it's God.
That's it.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
It's a good
So
thing.
you got any questions? Or you
Yeah.
go ahead?
For the ones that that find it hard to sometimes believe like there is love at first sight, or like do y'all hit right off the bat? Were there any red flags that y'all seen in each other before y'all got in y'all marriage?
Red flags, I would say, for it's like we had to earn each other's trust. Like she said, she was coming off something and dealing with something that hurted her,
Mm-hmm.
and I came off something that hurted me.
Yeah.
So she had a wall, I had the wall. So it was more like, let me see something. Let me see. So building that up, bringing that guard down, that trust, and just being real. Like she asked me all kinds of questions. Like she
Me
went
too.
deep, like
Mhm.
deep, make you
Right.
be like, man,
Yeah, I
you
hear
know what I'm
that.
saying?
And
But
do it.
that's what
Yeah,
it's supposed to be, because you gotta know
Mhm.
who you dealing with. And
Yeah.
I asked her the same questions, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if
You gotta know who you about to get with.
you gotta know who you got about
Right.
to deal with. And I remember she set me down. I remember when I had a conversation with her oldest daughter, Mimi.
Mhm.
They asked me what makes you mad, or how do you
Yeah,
act
you
when
you
you're
gotta
mad,
own it.
or
Gotta get to
how do you love God, or this is
Right.
my mom. How much do you love God? And I
Right.
showed that in action. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And she asked me the same thing. I asked her the
Mhm.
same thing. So basically, ask the uncomfortable questions, not just
The nice
easy,
things that go.
the nice things that go. Nah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
get in there.
Uncomfortable stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable stuff.
He basically put it out there like if you
Mhm.
want to know something about the person that you dating, it's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with asking a question.
None-
Because I know some people be like, should I ask him that? If you want to know, you better ask him because you rather ask it ahead of time than get to something and it happens or whatever and it's not what you wanted or who you wanted. So ask those questions in the early start. So I wanted to let y'all know that when did y'all get married?
September 28th.
So they newlyweds. They haven't
Newlyweds.
even made a year
We
yet.
about
You
to
see
get
how
in a
they
couple
able
months.
Mm-hmm.
to dive into the communication together
Mm-hmm.
and all of those things. That's a good thing. That's when it's based off of being God is the foundation, what I was speaking
Correct.
of
Correct.
last week. Because without God being that foundation, it's a lot of things. You're gonna have rocky times.
Right.
That's part of
Yeah.
it. But there's that foundation being solid,
Yeah.
it's gonna be able to be, get to where
Right.
you need to go.
I say
Yeah.
being in now, we 10 months in
Yeah.
September this year will be a year. But far as going in so far, I learned a lot. Like she learned a lot, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And we just building. It's kind of like how you build a
How you
house,
build it.
brick
Right.
by brick by brick by
Right.
brick. She might do some things that I don't like. I might do some things
Yeah.
that she don't like. But it's all about respect, though.
Mhm.
We always come to a common ground, no
Mhm.
Yeah.
matter what. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, she learning me, I'm learning her. So,
Mhm.
Right.
but if you're willing to fight with
Yeah.
somebody that you really really love to have a great marriage, hey, it's worth it.
Mhm.
It's worth it.
It is.
Yeah, cause I ain't never been married before, and I know
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
married, and then he's been married before, so it's like when we would have a disagreement or something, I'd be like, "Oh no," and she like me, "No, you can't do that.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can't. You
That's
can't as a wife. You can't." And I'm like, "Who can't?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to break it
Yeah.
down. Put that away, friend.
Yeah.
You somebody's wife
But then
now.
once we started going to church, and then we started going to these marital classes that we're in, and then started opening up the Bibles and reading certain stuff, and I'm like, ooh, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, God. So now when we get into it with or have differences about stuff, like I stop and I think, and I'm like,
Mhm.
it's not about who get the win out of this, or who gonna be petty with this. My thing is, what is gonna be the solution to this? Like, okay, I know I upset you, and I'm sorry for what I did, but how do we come to a common ground, like within this? Because yeah, we can't go to bed like this and then wake up and be upset,
Still going through the same thing
still
the next
going
day.
through the same thing. So
Yeah.
communication is
Yeah.
really big and
Yeah.
important.
And you always hear people say marriage is work. Yeah, marriage is work, but
Yeah.
marriage is a beautiful thing. That's
Yeah.
if you with that person that you
That's right. Say that again.
They
Really
work
good.
if you work right
you
too.
work
Yeah.
right too.
I believe that.
Because y'all
Person.
a team. It ain't just me. It ain't her. No, it's
Mhm.
one. Because the Bible says one flesh, one whole. So
Mhm.
we one. So what makes her mad, will make me mad. So we one. So and as
Mhm.
the man, as the head of the house, I have to make sure that I bring that
Mhm.
peace and that love into the house because it trickles down to the family. So
Mhm.
we have to
Yeah.
make sure.
I got another question then. We know that marriages are, like you saying, working together. When y'all ever have whenever y'all do have times to where like it's real bad, or like we can't just see eye to eye. Like, what are the ways that y'all overcome that?
I
Or
think
like
Ooh, that's a
it's
good
when it's
question.
like a boiling point situation. How do y'all overcome
the
that?
situation, prime example, when we was talking about this marriage stuff, and we was actually moving forward with it, because I didn't want a wedding at all. I was like, nah, we can go to that courthouse. We get in that courthouse. But then I started thinking, I was saying courthouse because my dad and my brother went here, and I didn't want to face that
Mhm.
of having to have to walk down the aisle like without my brother or my dad. So
Mhm.
I was like, we can do a backyard wedding. We could do a backyard wedding. But in that time of August, I feel like every test was hitting us. Like the devil was really trying to distract us or try to break us apart from getting married.
The head-on collision.
We had a really bad car accident leaving from their house when they had a fight party, going home, not in the wrong. I'm talking about literally 5 minutes away from the house,
Head on.
and a guy just runs his light and end up coming in our lane, hitting us, and we not even seeing that coming at all. And like him being unconscious, me losing my vehicle, us going down to one car, and then like literally right after we got married, I think he lost his car. And then my children's father, I was
Kind of stuff.
getting into it
all
with them about my
kinds of
daughter
stuff,
from
but
school, and I just kept saying like, I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash out.
Mhm.
But I will say,
but God,
he brought balance in, because he would be like, nah, babe, we not finna give the devil the glory in this. I be dog, like this ain't nothing but the devil trying to make us get into it. Let's pray. Like, so we were praying. Who can be upset after something like that? So
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's right.
I will be good, but then deep down inside, I'm hurt, because I'm like, I don't got no car. How we gonna get? How am I gonna get to
Yeah,
work and
you
you
thinking
at
about the
work?
situation.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
working
Yeah.
10, 12 hours and me working 10, 12 hours. Who gonna pick up Avia? It was a lot that was going on, so much. And I just said,
Yeah.
Woo, I ain't know. I kept telling her,
Yeah.
nigga, I don't know about this.
It's a big league game.
Yeah,
It's a big league game.
it's a
Yeah.
big league game.
Yeah,
But
that
as
was
long as
God's
y'all
will.
work together,
Work together as
like
one.
work together and
Yeah.
keep God in the center, I promise.
Everything
Came back around.
Everything will be okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. Good answer to that.
That's a good one.
You got one
Good.
See.
That was real good.
looking back. Oh, you can be a personal one.
Let's just go into that. Let's go into what I think we talked about this before as friends, but we discussed like how when you find a person, like when you become dating, when you're already an adult and in your grown ways already, when you're coming into a marriage or you're trying to build a relationship, and it's kind of difficult to see or get the person's ways off top. And so going into it, like me and George, we growed up together, kind of, sort of, so we kind of know the crazy parts of, to that effect. But when you come into a marriage or when you learning that person, I know with my friend, she would call me and she would ask me stuff, and I used to tell her like, hey, look, man, it ain't gonna come programmed already.
Right. It ain't no.
You got it. It ain't a manual. It ain't programmed.
Fine print in
That's
that
fine.
contract.
If you
And
read
it's
that fine print,
she always
yeah,
said,
and that's kind of me using that as example. Like, it's not gonna be what you expect. You just gotta get to it and build what you trying to get.
Right.
At the end of the day,
and I think it was challenging and hard for me because I lived by myself for
Oh,
8 years.
yeah.
Like 8 years,
Yeah.
I was by myself, and then us having to have to come to agreement and say, he like, okay, well, what we gonna do about the living status? And I already had a home that I had purchased, so he ended up moving in. But then I think after we got married, like a month later, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't like this nigga.
She like,
We
"Bring
getting
it. I need my space."
Yeah.
I said, "Ain't no more space. Bring it in."
I said, something. Hey, I'm getting
Yeah.
overstimulated.
Yeah.
over
This
here.
house. He said this our house.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I know he said that.
I'm like, oh man, my daughter would always say like you're not you're not the affectionate person. Like I don't see that from you. And him, he's like he stand on a firm so he'll tell you like all day like I love you.
I grew up on that. That's how
You
my dad was with
beautiful
my mom.
and stuff like that. Then sometimes I'm like,
yeah, I mean,
bruh, I got on the
Any-
Hey, you
money over here.
you like do it out, bro.
Yeah.
do it
You
all.
want that.
Real love.
That's
Yes,
Yeah.
never experienced it before, but I'm like, okay, I have to be open. Like,
yeah.
I have to be open to this, especially with this being my husband. Like, I
Yeah.
definitely, but like, I really do appreciate
I
that.
appreciate you too.
Look at the face so
I mean, it's important. I mean, as a man, it's our duty to make sure our wives feel beautiful. You know, they already been faced with different things. So you don't have to wait till she dressed up or hair done to say, baby, you beautiful. Nah, you beautiful without makeup and all that, because that's who I'm in love with. That's who I love. And I see her and her only. And it's our job as us, husbands, to do that for our woman. Because if you don't, another man would tell her that. And then you don't want to plant them seeds.
Yeah.
So our job is to make sure that every hole is covered within our marriage. So yeah.
Yeah. Every day they don't wake up like that, but hey,
you
they
picked us.
yeah, hey, but
You
beauty.
I had this money off before you asked me.
When you say this beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah. But it's a blessing to
Yeah.
have that, because you want
Yeah.
the man and your woman to be like on you like that.
Yeah.
'Cause and then like they said, still compliment
Yeah.
your spouse.
Right.
Even though, y'all been together, you still want to have that still it factor, like, oh, I'm still that one for you.
Yeah.
I need,
Sure.
it's not that they need to know, but it's just, it feel good.
Feel
when you let them
good.
know.
It's the insurance side.
Yeah,
You
reassurance.
got somebody on your
You my woman, you my man.
Outside world gonna give you the compliments,
Yeah.
but it means a lot more when it's coming
Come
from
from
your
your
mate.
person.
You know what I mean? So
And there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Right.
I take it any day. I'll be like, Joe, you like this outfit? And he like, yeah, that's it. Like
Mhm.
sometimes he be like, okay, I see where you going with. You trying to cause a problem, you know. But I'm used to him being like, yeah, like extra. Like, when we first got together, he would get me more and like. But he do it now. He do it every so often, and that makes me, when you get used to that, you like, okay, if give you a little bit, you like, that's it.
Mhm.
But he like, babe, I seen that outfit. And you just walked past me. Like, yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how you gonna get me?
Yeah,
That's it.
she won't.
But
She
me, I'm that.
She's very
I'm
good.
very something like that.
On it.
But I learned, and he the
Yeah.
compliments are good. It
Yeah.
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So,
But I do give her compliments, and when she doing her thing, I let her know. I see her, or she look good at what she doing, and just want to make sure that she know that. And I feel like that's important for men to let their wives know that
yeah.
I see you and you doing your thing.
And we wouldn't let your man know too, cause I be telling him too when he like doing something on that grill. Like when he on that grill, that really get me like, ooh, damn, boy, you fine.
Okay.
So if y'all be following us and you see me when he out there on that grill, just know he had a good night.
I might just grill tonight. I might just grill tonight.
Drink on me. So
I gotta bleach that thing. Put it in the trash.
Throw it away to get no. But you gotta have something that turns you on from your person, and that was be getting me when that man in there grilling that food. Then you eat it and it's good. Oh yeah,
it's good.
you already know. And if y'all see him find up that grill, y'all know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get something. Yeah, he's trying to get something. Up. But you have to have something. So coming to that, what is something that you feel that I do that makes you like hot for your wife still?
When you get dressed, you got your style, you got flavor. So I already know when you about to get ready. Yeah, when you getting ready, I know you're gonna come with it. So I just like to see you come with your style, your things that you do, because that just make you who you are. We all do the same things, but the things that you do and how you do it makes you who you are. So I just like how you do your stuff. You set up stuff nice. You dress well.
Man.
You cook good. You do all the things that I like. So
What they do to you?
what it do? It do. It keep me here.
He said, keep me here.
It made me rise to the next level.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
That's
y'all.
definitely every man know what I'm saying.
Oh, I know what you said.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see that deal. Let them answer what is something that he do that makes you like, oh Lord, like get to that point. Like, come on in here. Yeah.
Probably after he go get that fresh cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
That fresh cut.
The fresh cut do something though.
They do.
That
So-
or like when he take the, cause we have a lawn person, but sometimes he can't wait for them, and then he go out there and cut the yard. And I'm like, where you been? What you? He was like, I just been out there cutting the yard, and I'm like, what?
Like yesterday morning, they ain't know I was
You
up.
get hot from
I
that.
was like 7
Like
like
that.
I used to be out there cutting that yard.
So you know how it feels.
Used to be out there
Yeah,
cutting that yard. No, out there cutting.
Got me a yard man.
Yeah. She get a yard man tips.
No.
That's good.
Ooh.
You see that?
She feel good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we having some fun, y'all. We ain't trying to let y'all be bored. We gonna laugh and have fun with it. So, bro, we gonna go to you. What's something that girl do with that?
That turn you on, man. That's just
Man, don't get me
get your
started.
blood pressure up.
It's a family. It's a family.
Man, this is grown folks talk right
Yeah,
here.
this grown people out
Grown
here.
folks.
I ain't gonna get into much detail, but I love when she take that shower and she open that door and she come out the room. I'm gonna leave
Air it
that
out.
to the man.
It just
Man,
You see, we gonna do that topic right there with that intimate.
Yeah.
Oh, we got that another topic, so stay late.
that's a late night topic.
That's gonna be on the night shift.
and then sometimes she does this thing where she'll lay in the bed. We watch TV, but sometimes like you know how you feel somebody staring at you.
Mm-hmm.
I watch TV. I've been doing. She's staring at me. She's like, don't act like you don't see me staring at you. And I look at her. She's doing the little brown eyes. Brown eyes.
Yeah, pretty brown eyes over there.
You know,
Yeah,
things like that.
Hey,
Nah, you know what time
No,
it is.
yeah,
It's a difference when you come out that shower, you got your old lady clothes on. You know it's strictly
Bad
Yeah,
clout.
yes.
Yeah, the old lady
And
clothes.
sometimes they
Yeah, but he don't mind no old lady clothes.
He like he oh
That's
okay.
it. Oh,
turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn that
And
TV off.
that's a good thing because you want your person to be
Yeah.
like that behind you. You don't want them to
And
still be
then-
watching TV.
I'm the same way with G. When she get dressed up, you know, as you know, she do get fly, and I love that. She smell good, be looking
Mhm.
good, and that
Mhm.
right there turn me on too.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
just
keep that in.
you know,
Like
that's it.
that's another part of marriage to keep that spice, keep that glow with each other. Like you
Mhm.
gotta have that. Even though you know we not going nowhere, but we still gotta keep that. Because I know some women they lose themselves. They stop doing the dressing, stop doing it, and just be like, well, he married me. No, he married that person that he was, that you were.
Fell in
So
love.
stay that
He
person.
like-
And
he was
that's how
attracted
me and
to.
George stay how we are. Because I know a lot of people be like, how y'all still love each other? How y'all still happy to be?
You
Because
gotta
we
continue to
continue
date.
to
Continue to.
You gotta still gotta
Continue to
date,
date.
even when you married. You still
Continue to date. And that's another thing, the date. We used to have date nights every so often. We haven't been doing that because we've been busy, but we're gonna get back to that. And I think that's something that every married couple at least once a month go on a date.
Right.
If it's in the house, it could be in the house, in the backyard. Just spend some quality time to just talk, hang out with each other, laugh, have fun, get together, play a game, do something like that. So now we're going into the time that we're gonna open it up for questions. I can kind of see a little bit of screen,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, I'm gonna see
we
if I
gonna
got.
try to I know we see some that on here, and
Understand that.
just if you have some
Yeah,
questions,
If
for
y'all got questions,
either-
y'all can
either one of us.
send some questions.
And if you still they'll hit me some thumbs up, give me some likes, hearts, give me something to let me know that
Mhm.
y'all still engaging with us, and y'all have questions with this. Is the time to get them asked and answered, because I know a lot of people see me and George on social media,
Mhm.
and they want to know like what is it that y'all be doing, like how can y'all give y'all points, and that's why that's why we opened this up, because we want to be able to help marriages keep them afloat, keep
Right.
them strong, keep them, because they new to being married, so whenever they have questions and stuff, we give them, it can't be like everything that we tell them might not work for them, but we can give them a little points
Good
on
point.
what direction to go. So they making their own blueprint as they go, but if you can help, that's what we here for.
Mhm. That's
So-
what we doing.
Right now we don't have no questions. I can't see if y'all still engaging, get with us, because we're gonna be heading out in a minute. We just wanted to spend time with y'all, let y'all get to know y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the
Friend.
Barnett.
Yeah.
That you gonna be seeing more of them.
Y'all don't be strangers either.
Oh
man.
no,
You know,
no,
they
that
gonna be popping in,
Right.
every so often, because
Mhm.
them our people.
Mhm.
So that when you see them, it's about to be fun. But yeah, this is what we've been doing.
Mhm.
I can't. I can see. Can you see that?
What they
Anything
say?
on there?
No, it's just they said y'all cute. And
No, those are
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, right.
So if y'all have the questions or anything, this is the best time to get with me. Because if y'all try to send me a message, I ain't answering. I'm just playing.
Mhm.
But yeah,
What's her name said that? Mimi said something. She said,
Mimi.
yeah.
Hey Mimi, what's up,
She
Mimi?
said, Nita beat right. She
Need to
did.
be Juanita.
Yeah, I think that's what she said. I think that's what she said.
I don't know if that's what she said, but
She
that's
said
probably
BE18.
a bit.
Bad.
Oh, okay. That's usually I can't.
But yeah,
see.
so if y'all don't have any questions, we about to close it on out. And next week it'll be me and George. We haven't decided on the topic yet, but I will be posting it so y'all can be ready to engage and get into that. I hope that if y'all like what we're doing, just leave us a message, leave us a comment, because we want to know that y'all enjoying this, and we want to know that we're not boring y'all out. If y'all have any topics that y'all want to be have us discuss, feel free to send it to our way. We're gonna be having more guests on throughout. We might try to do 2 guests every month
Mhm.
and try to keep it going. Right now, we're doing every Sunday at 5 on live on all platforms, and then we're eventually going to open up probably a Wednesday night every other probably week to get into the real intimacy of marriage, and that's going to be like on a little night vibe that he came up with.
Right.
So we'll be talking about that more as we get the details on that. But bear with us because we still getting our technical stuff together. We're getting the lights together. I'll purchase more items, more stuff, and we just got to get everything critique. And y'all know once we get it on, it's on.
It's all
It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. Y'all best
With
believe.
that being said,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no more questions to be asked. We just want to tell y'all to have a good night.
Peace
All
out.
right, y'all.
Be safe.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining. For sure. Thank y'all
Bye.
for joining and coming in, spending time with us. See y'all later.
Hit that end button.